everybody, Rachel here from Rachthestamper.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this really cute card. Now, this card is not my original idea. I did find it from someone who shared it on Facebook. I can't remember who, but I am going to try to locate her name, and I'll share that with you once I get the post up and everything. But this is a really fun card using Tropical Hideaway and then Paradise Palms. So she did have a little bit different of a design, and we're going to make a slightly different card when we create this, but those are the two major components today. We are going to be using our Stamparatus because it makes it easier to stamp such a large image. A trick I wanted to show you is when you use a large background stamp like this, what I usually do is I will put a little piece of tape, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So this does have three layers for this. Okay, so we have two pieces of Parakeet Party. This is the base card, 4 1/4 by 11, score 5 1/2. This piece measures 3 3/4 by 5, and then I have a piece of shaded spruce because I kind of liked the distinction between this. Even though I did use garden green ink, I kind of thought it made the background pop a little bit more. This piece measures 4 by 5 1/4, so they're all going to layer together on here. But for this piece, what I'm going to show you is I kind of stamped it to eyeball where I wanted it. And then I put a piece of tape down, and what it does is it holds it in place so you don't have to worry about getting your fingers super inky. I have this little piece of, oh my goodness, grid paper that is specially made for the Stamparatus. It fits right in there. So I'm going to make sure that my magnets are in, just like that. And I think that should be good. Yep. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put another ink pad down here just to flatten it. So I'm going to use garden green ink. This is freshly inked. You could also, if you wanted to, do a couple different inks. You could do lighter and darker, maybe Parakeet Party and Granny Apple Green, and then throw in some garden green, or you could use shaded spruce if you prefer. But you want to make sure that you do a really good job inking. If there's any spots that you notice that aren't really fully inked, because there are a few pieces of solid image on here, just kind of go back over them again. So then I'm going to go ahead and shut the door on my Stamparatus, and I'm going to press. Just kind of press all over. Now you can see there's a little bit of spots that I missed up top here. So the magnets help to ensure that this stays in the corner. So when you put it down again and you repress those spots, you won't have any double images, halo images, or anything like that. So I'm just going to press this a little bit more. Now this is a freshly inked pad, so sometimes you might get a little bit of a splotchy look. I apologize for the dog in the background. You might get a little bit of a splotchy look, but as it dries, as you can see, it does smooth out a bit. If you ever have an issue with your ink pad, specifically after you've re-inked it, what you can do is you can take your spoon and either press the ink down into the pad to get a little bit more of an even, not so wet image, or you can even move the ink over to one side if you wanted to and have a lighter side and then a more inked side. But just a couple quick tips for you there. But again, as this dries out, it will ink itself up a little bit better. You will see it blend together just a little bit more. I just missed one little spot there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off. And we're going to set this aside and let it dry. Now, I kind of thought maybe this would be kind of nice to do a little bit of a change. So instead of using garden green, what I'm going to do is use Sweet Sorbet. So this used garden green for both the main image and for this. But I think I'm going to use Sweet Sorbet to make it pop a little bit more. And we're going to use Hope You Find a Little Paradise wherever you may be instead of the sentiment that we used prior. So I'm just going to let this set here and dry. I also have a little trick to show you with this back layer. So what we're going to do is just take our stamp and we're going to ink it up. Just a little scrap here. And we're just going to stamp just like so. So that's a little bit crooked, but what I did was I stamped one ahead of time and I just kind of trimmed it to the piece, and then I flagged the end with my paper snips. So we're going to use that one. And then I want to show you one more quick technique. So when we're putting this card together, we're going to be layering these pieces just like so. And then this piece is going to go here. And I did use some retired ribbon for this, and I'm going to show you. I'm pretty sure it's retired. I could be wrong, but you might have something similar. But I was just kind of going through and using some stuff that I had on hand. So this is actually, I believe it's called iridescent. Oh, where is the name? It's written in so many languages, I can never find it. Snowflake Splendor Ribbon. This is a pretty thin ribbon, and it's got an iridescent look to it, which is really nice. So instead, I'm going to show you another option that you could use. This is the super duper popular metallic mesh ribbon. It's always really great for adding just a little bit of something. So I think I'm going to use this instead. And then we're going to do one more thing. So for this, we're actually going to cut out a little palm frond die cut. So this layer, as you can see, is going to be behind here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of my adhesive sheet. I'm just going to, I don't need really a huge piece. So I'm just going to snip a piece and I'm going to put it right in the center. And now this is going to be a sticker. So I'm putting it in the center. That way, whatever we cut out will be covered up. But I'm going to pop this right here and I'm going to run this through my die cut machine. And I don't really think we need two. I think one is good enough. So you could cut out more than one if you felt like it. But I think one should be plenty. So you can see, have this little piece right here. Just going to pull that out. So this is going to get covered. So no one's even going to know that you did that. Okay. Now this adhesive on the back here will just peel right off and we'll be able to use this just as a sticker. Okay, so what we're going to do is go ahead and put our layers together. I'm going to go ahead and fold this. All right, we're going to layer this down. I'm just particularly fond of liquid glue because it works super well. So I'm usually a liquid glue person. All right, then we're going to put this layer down. Just layering everything on top of each other. This is a really simple card, not complicated whatsoever. And what did I do? Here's my sentiment, which is right here. So since I have a little bit different of a card than this one, I'm just going to look, kind of figure out where would I want to lay this. And then maybe, I just think I want just a little teeny piece of this metallic mesh. It doesn't need to be a lot. I am going to pop the sentiment up on dimensionals, which I just had here a second ago. Here we go. So I'm going to do 3 because, oh, can I fit 3? Let's see. Actually, I'm going to go with 4. I'm going to put 1 on each side of this end piece because I think I'm going to put my ribbon kind of down like so at the bottom. And then I think I'm going to put this little palm frond on top. And then this will go right over here. Yeah. That looks pretty good. Now with this mesh ribbon, you have kind of 2 things. So when you're taking these dimensionals off, it will really help it stick. So I'm going to show you what I mean. And I think I might kind of scrunch the end of this up a little bit. So I'm going to take this piece here and I'm just going to kind of squish it together and put this on kind of like so. We have that, and then we'll have this coming out, okay? So now I know I've covered up a good amount of the adhesive with the dimensionals with this ribbon, but what we're going to do is we're just going to take our liquid glue and just put a little bit of liquid glue. Liquid glue is also really helpful if you're using dimensionals and you're not really exactly sure where you want to put something. It kind of gives you a little bit of wiggle room. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the back of this. This peels off super easy. It even takes out those little pieces in between that you might have missed. So I'm just going to place this here for a moment. I'm not really pressing down yet because I want to make sure it is where I want it to be. I'm going to just adjust this just a little. All right, so I'm going to press that down, and since it has adhesive, it's going to just stick super easily. And then I'm going to line this edge up with the edge of my card. Just like so. Now, since this does have liquid adhesive on it, I want to just hold on to this just for a second till it grabs. And then we have our little card. Give me one more second. I just want to really press on this because I don't want it to pop off because I hit something unevenly. Okay. And I think, yep, that's pretty good there. I think we're good. The only thing I would suggest, and this is just kind of up to you, I probably could have put another dimensional underneath the bottom. Instead of going across the middle, I probably could have gone up, down, up, and then maybe a little one here. But I think it's going to stick perfectly fine. So 2 little cards. You know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of surgery here, just because I'm not liking the way this is sticking. And I'm gonna see if I can fit. Yes. I'm gonna wiggle this piece underneath. So since you have the liquid glue, it kind of gives you a little bit of maneuverability. So I want to put just a little piece. I'm going to put a little piece here, and then I'm going to do the same there. So I'm just cutting just a little ends off here. And actually, they fit really, really well. And that way, even though we have the stick, so I'm going to put a little bit more adhesive there, because I feel like it is wet right here, but still. I'm just going to put just a teeny bit. Okay. And I'm going to pop this back down. I'm trying not to touch it because I think I have kind of slightly wet green fingers right now from touching that wet ink. So I'm just going to do this with my palm. Now, another trick that I have seen people do before is you can just set your phone on it. You can set a block on top of it just to kind of hold it in place as well. But I feel like since I added those 2 extra pieces of dimensional, we're pretty well covered with the sticking and also with the height of the whole card. Yeah, that definitely looks much better. So I hope you guys like this card today. Again, it was really simple. I mean, it's just some layering. We also have a little piece missing there behind that no one will ever know, but I think this is a really cool card. I'm not sure if I like the tone on tone better or the tone on tone with the pop of pinkish red. So let me know which one is your favorite in the comments. I would love to hear what you have to say. If you'd like to see something specific made, please feel free to shoot me an email at rachthestamper@gmail.com. Or you can always leave a comment here on YouTube. I do check my comments. I don't get a ton of them, so I do check almost every single one of my comments. Sometimes it takes me a little bit because I haven't realized that it's left me one. But if you're new here and you would like to subscribe me without spending if you would like to support me without spending any money, you can subscribe. You can give me a thumbs up on this video. You can leave a comment. You can share it with a friend. All of those things are easy and free ways to support your favorite creators on YouTube. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I hope you've learned a few tips at least from this card, and I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Thanks so much for watching.